Hello, I'm David Trungale from TraderTours.com/golf, and get ready to witness a mind-boggling golf swing. This is Nancy Lopez, one of the all-time greats. She won 48 tournaments on the LPGA Tour, and of course some major championships to go with it. The swing is so peculiar and fascinating to watch that I wanted to do a brief analysis of this. So there are some things that she does that you just won't ever see, and that's why I wanted to play this. So right away, in the takeaway, this move is very unique. She is elevating the hands substantially above the plane, and if you looked really closely, you would have seen that the club head started to go back at the same time. So really, nobody does this that I've ever witnessed, at least at the professional level or in a televised tournament. You might argue that Mo Norman or Bryson DeChambeau addressed the ball this way, where the shaft is in line with the arms, which is true, but once again, they did that at address opposed to combining it with the takeaway. So that's very unusual, and then Nancy will wrap the club way to the inside. So here's the club head over here, and her hands are here. I'm going to keep that circle there because in a way she established a totally new plane line, but this is really about as flat as it gets, and an extremely flat takeaway that goes around the body. You might ask what will happen next. The usual pattern, which we'll see momentarily, is at some point the club has to lift, obviously, and when it does, it will get across the line. Alright, so there it is. Here's the club head up here, pointing into right field. Now, something else that is atypical, you could pull up 1,000 different golf swings, whether it's the LPGA Tour or the Men's PGA Tour, you will not see a shoulder turn that is parallel to the ground. So golf is angular in nature. You're rotating on an axis that it's on an arc. And if you watch Dustin Johnson, if you watch Nelly Korda, a lot of the top players in the world, they have a relatively steep turn and have tilt, whereas Nancy, again, this is dead flat. There's no angle, at least from this camera angle. So that's another item that is very bizarre, but she makes it work, and this is why I think it's important to respect her, is because this is a case of how dexterity, you might refer to it as God-given talent, works for somebody. And in an interview, she talked about how this right elbow would drive inward on the downswing and how she would essentially correct all of the oddities in the backswing. And she's right, it is about how you strike the ball versus how you take it back. The only thing I would note is that your average person would stand no chance from here. So for her, it worked, but I certainly would not ever teach anyone to replicate this type of action. But here we go. This is where she will correct all of this. So the right elbow will magically squeeze in. The hips are going to open up rapidly. So this looks way more conventional. And notice the hands are right in that plane line that she altered at the beginning. So pretty astounding stuff from where she was at the top. And then we can also see, once again, I know those hips are nice and open, but see how her head is out over this line? So it's not like this is a case of early extension. And then she'll just blast the ball right down the middle. Let's take a look at regular speed. So hands go up and away, club goes way around the body, and then there will be a very aggressive transition to fix all of this. Absolutely remarkable. Let's take a look at her swing from the other angle, which is the face-on view, and we can pick at some of the traits that are a bit more ordinary, because if you're going to play great golf, there's always going to be certain fundamentals that are solid. So let's take a look. Alright, so here we have Nancy from the face-on view, and as different as her swing is, we can still spot certain fundamentals that all great ball strikers incorporate. For instance, we can see how she is bracing into her right side and will transfer her weight this way. So all great players have a certain degree of weight transfer, and we know that their hips will be more open at impact than they were at address. Also, if we go back, so here is the backswing. Somewhere around left arm parallel, she is hinging the wrists, and the club is situated at roughly 90 degrees, which is very standard. Not everybody will create the classic L shape, but if you watch everybody on tour, they will have a certain degree of wrist hinge. So here is her arm at the top, and here's the club. You'll never see anybody with their arm here while the club is dead in line with it. So again, everybody hinges the wrist to varying degrees, but the point is all tour players do it to some extent. So this is just to prove that, again, no matter how bizarre a swing may seem, there are certain facets that will be consistent in terms of patterns, in terms of fundamentals. See too, here's the ball, here's her hands, and that club is certainly trailing back somewhere, so very nice lag. So there's Nancy Lopez, a 1 out of a billion talent. Seems like a very intelligent and nice woman, and had a great career. So I hope you found this video interesting, and thank you for watching.